The storm had been raging all night. But it wasn't the thunder that made Maya Clark's heart hammer against her ribs. It was the letter lying on her doorstep, drenched, trembling violently in the wind. You can't hide anymore. The ink had bled into the wet paper, turning the message into something raw, feral. Maya stood at the doorway of her tiny cedar cabin, the wind whipping her hair across her face. The forest behind her whispering warnings she didn't want to hear. Cedar Hollow had always promised quiet, a place where she could breathe without fear, where she could pretend that the world she left behind wasn't still looking for her. She had built a life out of nothing. New name, new habits, new scars. But even the smallest lie eventually rots. Maya Clark was just a borrowed identity. Her real one, Lila Harrington, was the kind of name that never died quietly. The heiress to Harrington Media, New York's pride, engaged to Ethan Drake, the city's golden boy with perfect teeth and a sharper mind than he let people see. Adored, photographed, envied. And then one night, she discovered something she wasn't meant to find. Something that could burn down powerful families, politicians, billionaires, and the very empire her own father built. She ran. She didn't take jewelry, clothes, or memories. She took her younger sister, Harper, and vanished. For 2 years, Cedar Hollow became her sanctuary. A dusty little bookstore job, a cabin warmed by a wood stove, a quiet friendship with Jenna, who asked nothing, judged nothing, suspected nothing. But peace is a fragile guest. It never stays long. And now, someone had found her. The next morning, Maya walked into the bookstore with the same careful smile she practiced whenever her hands wouldn't stop shaking. Jenna noticed instantly. You okay? She asked, brushing a strand of chestnut hair behind her ear. You look like you haven't slept in days. Maya offered a soft laugh. Storm kept me up. Jenna didn't believe her, but she let it go, the way she always did. All day Maya felt eyes on her. A shadow lingering too long outside the window. A dark car that moved slowly whenever she stepped outside. A feeling deep, hungry, familiar that her past was stalking her footsteps. But the breaking point came that night. As she locked the bookstore, the wind cut through her coat, sharp as ice. She turned around to pull the shutter down. When her breath froze, on the glass window stared a poster. Not Maya Clark. Not Lila Harrington. But a strange, uncanny blend of both. A digitally aged composite. Underneath, bold letters. Missing. Last seen 2 years ago. Reward, $500,000. Her knees nearly buckled. Someone knew she was alive. Someone knew she was near. Someone was hunting her deliberately, methodically. She grabbed her keys and ran into the night. The clues, the strange gifts on her porch. The letter, the poster, they formed a pattern so precise it could not be ignored. And all of them pointed toward the hill above Cedar Hollow. The abandoned Harrington estate. Her childhood home. The mansion once glittered with chandeliers, charity galas, press conferences, and a father who smiled proudly for cameras, but spoke little inside the walls. Now it stood like a cracked skeleton, empty, silent, forgotten. Maya pushed open the heavy door. It groaned, dust dancing in the dim light. With every step, memories pressed against her ribs. Birthdays, arguments, broken promises, Harper's tiny hand holding hers whenever thunder frightened her. As she walked deeper, the air grew colder. A hidden passage she never knew existed creaked open, the wind pushing it like a hand guiding her toward truth. Inside, the walls were covered with files. Photographs of her in Cedar Hollow. Maps outlining her daily routes. Phone logs. Old footage from New York. Court records. Financial documents. And then, her heart stopped. A folder labeled Harper. Inside, photos of her sister leaving school, grocery shopping, laughing in the backyard. Someone had been watching Harper just as closely. She's the weakness, a note read. She's the key. A shadow moved behind her. Maya turned, and the breath was punched from her lungs. Rowan Drake. Tall, deceptively charming, with dark blonde hair and a smile that never reached his eyes. Ethan Drake's estranged cousin. Wealthy, dangerous. Whispers of illegal dealings trailed him. Everywhere he went, he stepped into the room, blocking her escape like a predator savoring the moment. "Well," he said, voice smooth as smoke. "Took you long enough to find your own shrine." Maya forced her spine straight. "Rowan, why are you here?" He smirked. "Oh, sweetheart, you really don't know. Ethan wants you back." Her skin crawled. Ethan, the man she once loved, the man she later learned was capable of destroying lives as easily as he charmed them. Rowan took another step, his presence suffocating. "There are debts in this world. Leela, your family owed more than you could ever repay. Running only made it worse." "I'm not Lila anymore," she whispered. "Exactly." His eyes hardened. "And that's the problem." He lunged. Maya dodged, the world exploding into motion. Papers flew. Shelves toppled. Her pulse roared in her ears. Rowan grabbed her wrist too, strong, and hauled her toward the balcony. Outside the hidden room, wind slammed into them. The city lights glittered below. "You can't win," Rowan hissed. Maya looked him dead in the eyes. "Watch me." She twisted hard, using his momentum against him the way her self-defense instructor once taught her. Rowan stumbled backward, his heel hitting the edge. He fell, not to his death, but to his defeat, crashing into the lower balcony as police sirens wailed in the distance. Someone had tipped them off. Someone knew Rowan was here. Someone else was watching. Hours later, Maya sat at her cabin dining table with Harper and Jenna. Her truth finally spilled across the room like broken glass. Harper cried softly. Jenna held her hand, shock wide in her eyes. "You should have told us," Jenna whispered. "I was trying to protect you," Maya said, voice cracking. Harper leaned in and hugged her tightly. "You don't have to run anymore. We face everything together now." For the first time in years, Maya felt breath enter her lungs without pain, without fear. She wasn't alone. She wasn't hiding. She wasn't Leela Harrington or Maya Clark. She was something new, something stronger. Peace felt possible. But peace is deceptive. Her phone buzzed. A message. Unknown number. "This isn't over, Lila." Her heart dropped. The second message followed immediately. "You ran from the wrong man. I'm already in Cedar Hollow. Edie." Ethan Drake. The man she once loved. The man far more dangerous than Rowan ever could be. Maya looked out her window into the dark forest. Somewhere out there, Ethan was watching, waiting. She straightened her shoulders, fire igniting behind her ribs. "Let him come," she whispered. "I'm not running anymore." The storm outside roared back to life. But inside her, something stronger rose. A woman who had vanished twice. A woman who refused to vanish again.